Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Tikash here. Welcome back to my channel where it's all horror all the time. So I've been trying to kick the habit of not finishing a game before moving on to the next one, but I do believe I've been pretty vocal about how Agony managed to piss me off time and time again in various ways. So I really do need a bit of space right now. Maybe Agony is gonna move back in with its parents for a while, see how that works out. But yeah. Meanwhile, I managed to get my hands on a brand spanking new game that I've been looking forward to ever since it was announced like 2-ish years ago, which is The Sinking City. Based on the works of everyone's favorite syphilis-ridden racist, Howard Phillips Lovecraft. That's right, it's time for some more insanity-themed cosmic horror goodness up in this bitch. Now, I was a little disappointed with Call of Cthulhu that I played earlier this year, based on the same literary pantheon, if you will, mainly because of how linear it was and how the investigation sequences didn't really amount to much more than going from highlighted point A to point B. Whereas this is an open world game, which lets you go wherever you want and explore things at your own pace. And if I'm interpreting things correctly, also lets you do a lot more sleuthing and detective work all by yourself. Now, not only is it open world, the city itself is actually randomly generated. There's a pretty cool tech demo up on YouTube that shows you how they managed to pull that off. But I guess the short version is what you will be seeing on my channel, you won't be seeing in anyone else's playthrough. So I guess we're gonna find out if that's a good thing or not. So I might just be setting myself up for disappointment here, but I'm pretty damn hyped about this. I've got my Cthulhu shirt on. I've been listening to Lovecraft-inspired music throughout the day. Just had seafood for dinner, which maybe was not the best idea now that I think about it. Got my flask of whiskey right here, because I mean, what self-respecting Lovecraft investigator would want to be caught without it? So, yeah, let's do this. Iya. So, dear Mr. Charles Reed, as you requested, I've researched the outbursts of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakland, Massachusetts. It turns out that your assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn to Oakland, haunted by visions similar to yours. A city drowning, the presence of something great, yet unknown. As luck has it, I believe we have stumbled upon the source of your ailment and the person who might help you with it. Prepare yourself, then come to Oakland as soon as you can. I will meet you here to help you on your way. Cordially, Johannes van den Berg. Jay Big Dog, thanks for joining, man. Good to have you again. I'm overselling things again, aren't I? Let's. I'm trying to keep a lid on expectations, but I mean, on paper, this should really be up my alley. Indeed. Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. So I think I might have messed up already in that I believe the tutorial was a separate option in the main menu rather than it being incorporated into the actual main game. So let's have a quick look at the controls here. Aim, fire, interact. Yeah, seems to be pretty standard fare so far. No, I don't just want to rotate it. Pick it up, guy. Interact. Hold left mouse. No, it does say hold here, dude. And this is what happens when I hold.
Hope I never have to use it.
Oh.
But something tells me I will.
So maybe hold it a bit more next time. Yeah, this looks to be the same letter from the intro, so I'm not gonna be reading that out loud all over again. Casebook, press C to activate. Uh-huh. Okay, so the casebook contains your main case, which reflects your overall story progress. You can work on more than one side case at the same time. Cases contain information about investigations in the form of evidence. Some pieces of evidence have icons that hint at what action to perform. Right, noted. Totally holding the interaction button here, but not a lot going on so far. Illuminati.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
So, do I use the camera on this, or what's going on here? Looks like I'll just have to backtrack in a bit. Wait, hang on. That looks familiar. Nope. Still doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Now get out!
Jesus, calm down, dude.
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes Vanderberg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Looks like it, yeah.
Much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere, you know?
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature, scion of a robust bloodline, a philanthropist, a scholar, and the patron of the famous Oakmont University. A man of great ambitions and even greater ego. Do not make him wait.
I'll need a place to lay my head down there. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper, places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought, like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
Well, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you.
Ooh, ominous. Yeah, I think you may be onto something there, Jay, about this guy being stuck in a loop. Like the whole circular time thing was also really at the forefront of that awesome trailer that they released for this some time ago. But yeah, no, change of plans. Just to be on the safe side, I want to go back to the main menu and go through the tutorial. Because it would just really suck if I just missed out on a major clue right there and I wouldn't be able to get back on this boat. So yeah, I mean, how long can a tutorial really be? Wait, hang on, so it's not an actual interactive tutorial, it's just instructions, basically. Okay. Right, this might be a lot to take in one go, but... Evidence. See, there we go, that's that icon from before. A wide frame in the camera viewfinder indicates if you are aiming correctly. Read evidence closely to identify important locations, then pin it on the map to plan your route. Is it route or route? I forget. Pin evidence on the HUD with X. You can also place evidence on the map and HUD from the casebook screen. It is route, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was leaning towards. Hang on, what about that Stone song though? Route 66? Maybe it's a regional thing, but I digress. So how does this work then? There we go. Focus, Grasshopper. Yes, indeed. Let me see how I can make my guy stroll, because I'm not really looking forward to just running around all over the place without good reason. Jeffafa. So this guy has a rather brisk walking pace by default. And then here's the run animation. So we won't be going any slower than this. Nah, he looks like he doesn't want to be disturbed. I mean, of course it would start with a dock. Of course it would.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is final.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested.
Stands out in the crowd
My
indeed.
name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers. Mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the Shell. They are everywhere.
So they're just...
Yeah, that's an understatement right there.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
So I've
Let's
noticed.
just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera, you have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to their house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. Was standing right in front of it.
Yeah, let's not dwindle on
As much
that.
as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
This guy needs to fix his attitude. It's like, help me help you, man. Yeah, we've been over this before. Oof, that's a lot to memorize. Fast travel point, investigation. Just let's see what I can figure out as we go. Yeah, you know what, now that you mention it, Mind's Eye might be a good thing to look into. Use Mind's Eye whenever you see distortion in the corners of the screen and hear a ringing sound. It may reveal image of the past, illusions, omens, or tracks that are otherwise invisible. Images of the past have an activation zone. See above. Right on, right on. I guess I would. I mean, I'd be brief if I had to talk to a mug like that. But, yeah, speaking of Forrest Whitaker, if you haven't seen The Last King of Scotland yet, you should really get on that. Is the woman? Wait, what in the actual... What is that? Some sort of cat possum thing. Right, so let's follow this icon on the compass here for now. Right, that did not exactly go as planned. Wait, so is that just leading us back to that picture from earlier? I guess the game didn't save me picking those up earlier. Can't climb this. So what was it that King Louis was saying? Face the house, turn left, and there's the lifeboat. What about this dude then?
I've said everything I know.
Well, I guess that makes you Jon Snow, because you know
Don't
nothing.
do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
Right, so face the house to the left. I mean, I'm going left, aren't I? Or is it the other left? Ah, there's a new icon on the compass right there. So that should maybe tell us something. What stairs? What do you want about, dude? Nah, you know what? Let's not make things difficult on ourselves and just follow the trail for now. I mean, I guess you could consider this a lifeboat, but I highly doubt this is what we're looking for.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
Death Boat. Dibs on that band name.
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for. The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
Well, there's the obvious path, but how about this?
I'm surprised I don't have someone's portrait here. 5 cards short of a full house.
You okay there, mate?
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was add or starve.
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis, we were here. This is our house. Barry was outside, on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay, my head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me...
That sounds familiar. Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. K is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. K be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. K have mercy on his soul.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, Tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or... okay, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will.
Alright, Jay, give me a
Police
sec.
will
Let's
stop
try that.
anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Right, yeah, let's backtrack a bit and give that a shot. So you're saying face the house, go left. Still not seeing a staircase, but there is a police line. Ah. Jay, what would I do without you?
Huh, Titania?
Jay, you clever son of a bitch, maybe you ought to take the wheel. Right, so, Albert Throckmorton's will. I hope someone finds this. My name is Albert Throckmorton, and this is my will. I want to warn you, don't go to the depths below Oakmont. There's... We should have never done that. Everything should remain in that cave. Professor Yada Yada, I fear what will become of me. It's singing in my brain, dancing on my eyelids every time I close my eyes. The cycle goes on and on and on and on and on and on. In the end it comes. I must warn everyone. I must tell my father. He's here. Midsummer Night, that's Shakespeare, is it not? I'm not really familiar.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
You like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
Now that you mentioned, I don't think I've actually ever read any Shakespeare myself, but then again, my backlog is big enough as it is. Let's see if we can clear this fence. Nah. Well, if it's a fairy king, what's the queen doing there? Shouldn't that be a fairy king and king? Sorry, couldn't resist. You know what? I'm gonna question this guy. Anyway, your 5-minute break is over, dude.
The end is nigh. It will begin again. What is down comes up. The seed is sowed.
Right, I regret asking now. Right, so Midsummer Night's Dream. You know what? I just might give it a shot. It is the season after all. Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of double entendre going on here, dude. Mind's Eye. Press for more information. Right, this we know. Ah, so this is like your detective mode, kind of like the Batman games.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work.
Well, so take it. Or is it just there to be a clue? It is, isn't it?
Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much.
Right on, right on. Starting to like Oakmont now. Oh yeah.
Glenna, Nehri, Glenna, Gebhal, Nugulina, Haftin.
So that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Pretty... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Maar ik bemoei niet in, dude. So, Innsmouthers, that's a pretty blatant reference there already. Follow the beast. Why would I want to do that? I'm like 90% sure that's just like a illusionary peripheral vision apparition thing going on there. I mean, dude, would you be following that if you were in my shoes? Would you really?
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Like that, yeah. Whoa, dude, no, put it down. What in the actual... Again, 90% sure those things are real anyway. But let's not take any chances.
There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
Retrocognition. Retrocognition allows you to understand events that happened in the past. Inspect enough evidence on the scene and a vision will emerge. Step into it and find all the critical scenes. Mark the scenes in chronological order to gain new evidence. So... it's looking a lot like Call of Cthulhu in that respect, but... it's already a bit more complex and interactive, which is what I came here for. So these footsteps don't quite lead outside the window, but there's still some red smudges down there from the looks of it. Better get down there again in a bit.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Michael, no, I'm not touching that one. I'm not touching that one, Jay. Whoa. Right, so enter it. Ah, and there's your secluded investigation scene. I get it, I get it.
What's happening?
The planet of the Yeah, well, ritualistic murders is pretty much what Lovecraft is all about, so that's a solid hunch right there, dude. Follow trail. Is this all the same dude? Is this one and the same dude getting up and... does look a lot like it, doesn't it?
Take this, ape-face.
Nah, so it's more than one dude.
Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Yeah, run!
Alright, so you manually have to sort out the clues. That is pretty cool, actually.
What's happening?
Monkey Luciferian, wow. Now that's a phrase you don't hear every day. Right, so I want to say he was abducted from his bed, or woken up at least.
What's happening?
Face.
Guy shot him. Then he made a run for the window.
Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
See? That's what I said, right? Mind Palace. Investigation of the main case reveals clues for your Mind Palace. Little Hannibal shout out there, if I'm not mistaken. So open the casebook, then switch to Mind Palace. Combine pairs of relevant clues to get evidence. Deductions. Some deductions can be interpreted differently. This can lead to different conclusions. Discover all possible conclusions to fully understand the case, but it is up to you how to solve it. Man, I am so glad that the whole investigation aspect is as complex, relatively speaking, as I thought it was. Right on, right on. So, casebook, Mind Palace. We got a bit of mind mapping going on here, if I'm not mistaken. Man, this is neat. This is even more elaborate than I was expecting. So, deductions. Combine clues to make deductions. Thinking it's a bit early for that just yet. Let's see what we can find back downstairs. See, I don't know if this is rust or blood. No further trail from the looks of it. Let's head back to King Louis. See what his deal is. Alright, Jay, thanks for having you, mate. Do be back. And if not, have a good one. Ciao. Third eye. Is that a euphemism, dude?
Mr. Throgmorton, I found this in the lifeboat. Looks like it's your son's will.
Give it to me. Oh, my boy, what did you get yourself into? If only I hadn't sent you on that cursed expedition.
Bye.
You know what? That's actually not a bad idea, Jay. Doesn't seem to be anything there, but that's a good hunch, indeed. Yeah, one of the few times I actually do appreciate backseat gaming. Thanks again, dude. Talk to you in a bit. So I'm thinking we need to collect a bit more materialistic, tangible evidence to get anything more out of this guy. Right, so apparently my mind palace is tingling. But there doesn't seem to be anything new there just yet. I want to inspect this building some more before I try and piece things together.
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. Monkey Boy is built like a brick privy, as they say.
Choo choo.
All evidence collected. Are you saying this model train actually has any bearing on the case at hand? Let's interrogate this guy some more.
I still hear those voices.
Then again, maybe not. Now it's starting to look a lot like the Mind Palace is our only recourse here. Wait, I already expected that, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So, casebook, Mind Palace. So do I like put him in an order, or I would returned unstable. Let's start with that. Albert Throckmorton spread some sort of psychic influence which made everyone nearby suffer hysteria. So that's a, is that a new clue in and of itself? No, it looks like we've got fewer clues now. Which is not what I was expecting. So what about this feud then? I'm gonna need a little backstory here. As an Innsmouther, Lewis and his people suffered at the hands of the Throckmortons. That could be a reason to hate them. Well, yeah, I mean, no offense, but I thought we were kind of there already. Hey, Mariposa, thanks for joining. Those two matches, which two are you talking about specifically? Albert Throckmorton was dangerous and posed a threat to Lewis Flynn and his fellow fishermen. Again, we kind of established that already. I can track down Albert. Albert and the fisherman named Lewis fled the scene after the fire in the house. I can track them using my supernatural sense. Oh, so it's not a nightmare-induced thing. It is an actual supernatural sense that you can use at will. That's pretty nifty, I guess. So Mariposa, what's up with that? Like my Spanish isn't quite up to par. I only know it as that one saloon from Westworld. Albert Throckmorton was dangerous and posed a threat to Lewis Flynn and his fellow fishermen. Right on. So, follow the omens. More instructions. Bad fishing. Yeah, I think that's what they were getting at. Mind's eye can reveal omens that guide your way. Follow them to find new evidence. Hang on, what if I look at the same subject while in...
I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here.
Mind's eye. No, that doesn't reveal anything new. Still worth a shot, though.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Yeah, and the same goes for this clue, then. Now we're getting somewhere. Handprint? You gonna be doing anything useful for me today? You're not, are you? Right. So do we jump down there? That seems like a jumpable height, right? It's like, I don't want to get ahead of myself and praise a game that I'm only like, what is it, 20 minutes into just because I want to like it. But I will say this, the investigations are already way better fleshed out than they were in Call of Cthulhu. So is this like a casing, a cartridge? What'd you call it? I'm not a gun nut.
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots.
Mind Palace clue. Lewis may have wanted to kill Albert outright because he was a Throckmorton, rather than just drive him off.
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
That's kind of a weak gunshot sound. I mean, I don't know how the sound of gunshots correlate to how much damage they do, but that sounded more like a BB gun than anything else. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you've got enough markings going on there. I'm not entirely sure if I'm on board with the whole superpowers thing, because like a main, if not a definitive Lovecraft theme is just regular folks getting caught up and just outsmarted, outsized, outnumbered, what have you, by supernatural stuff, but guess we'll just have to try and see how it figures into the bigger picture of things. Not entirely sure what I'm looking at here. So there's like a piece of burlap, or what's going on here?
There's something in the pocket.
Lewis, please, just give me one more week. I know I owe you, but I'm underwater like everyone else right now. I don't yet have enough stock to operate the bar smoothly with the fuzz snooping about the port. But don't worry, I've struck a nice deal with the proper people and should have a steady supply channel soon. Just one more week and I'll return everything with double interest. Peter. Double interest, that sounds pretty confident.
And the blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
Alright, so before we descend those, let's go back to regular old people world here for a second. See what we can find on the tangible side of things. So, I'm not gonna name any names, but at least this game has pretty clear instructions, although they may be a lot to take in at first, but yeah. Pretty pleased so far. Let's hope they can keep it up. Padlocks. Padlocks and weak planks can be broken with a shot or melee attack. Oh, good thing I've got my trusty old shovel here.
The door won't budge.
Yes, it will. Another one already? But this is my last round, so I better make it count. Right, that didn't exactly go according to plan. I know, right? Let's melee the shit out of whatever this is. This is like the second time I'm kind of getting Hannibal vibes from this game, and if you haven't watched that show, you should really get on that. I mean, this is a horror channel after all. I'm just gonna recommend shit out of the blue, if and when I see fit. But yeah, top 3 shows ever, if you ask me. So is there a difference between inspecting clues in regular people realm and detective mode, I
fatal
wonder?
round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Well, yeah, the facial features do seem a bit familiar. I can see the resemblance. Let's go ahead and try that out.
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Yeah, nothing more to be learned from here. Okay, so another Mind Palace clue. Lewis, the Innsmouther that killed Albert Throckmorton, may be hiding at the bar in Oakmont Port. So what's going on with these deductions then? Do we get to couple them together as well? Ah, no, these are just like intermediate conclusions from earlier clues. I get it now. I mean, I guess I could do with some ammo right about now, but I still got that shovel with me and whatnot, so... Not panicking just yet.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
No.
Yeah, I found found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
My condolences, Mr. Throckmorton. I hope for a happier outcome.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our blood spilled for nothing. So much effort in vain. My poor Albert. Tell me you know who did it. I want to look him in the eyes, make him beg for mercy.
You know what? This might not be a professional move on my part, but...
Seems like he was a fisherman by the name of Lewis. He had a gun and pursued Albert after he fled the house.
Lewis it is, then. What do you know of him?
Turns out you were right. He's an Innsmouther.
Those filthy scum have done it now. When I'm through with them, they will rue the day they dared lay a finger on a Throgmorton. Bring me that dirtbag, Lewis. He and I are due a reckoning. Do this for me, and I'll help you with anything you need.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of on the fence about street justice, but I don't want this guy to go on a, like, genocidal Innsmouther rampage just because of one guy. So let me go ahead and check this real quick. I want to say that the green magnifying glasses are... they represent clues that we've... Yeah, here we go. Investigation scenes, all evidence collected. But then there's the gray, whitish version, which are new investigation scenes. Color of the icon changes according to investigation progress. Icon is removed if case is complete. Right. So is it back to the lifeboat then?
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
You like it here, newcomer?
Yeah, we've been over this.
Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
That looks a lot like a diver's helmet, I want to say.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Oh man, our dude is actually going insane. That is visualized pretty damn well. Like, if this is your mental state at the beginning of the game, I'm kind of dreading to see where it goes. So yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I had a little meeting with myself. Seems a lot like Lewis is a prejudiced piece of shit. I'm gonna turn him over. And, you know, what happens to any other Innsmouthers because of it is not really my responsibility now, is it?
My head! I still hear those voices.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Let me take a look at the casebook. I'm kind of wondering if turning over Lewis is like an like a main story event queue thing, or if it's an optional side quest thing. No, it's definitely part of the main case. It is definitely part of the main case. Man, looks like there's a lot of depth to this game that I still have to figure out, which is good news. So again, if I remember correctly, all the green magnifying glasses are investigation scenes that I've depleted, if you will. I wonder why this one still has a highlighted edge to it, though. Must be something I missed. Right, so let's rummage around this one more time, just to be on the safe side. Could have sworn I picked that up already, but...
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
And apparently it still does, in the mind's eye. So what am I missing here? I want to say that third missing dude is still hiding around here somewhere.
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone
Let's see what
tossing
you
it
find,
over like
newcomer.
this. Choo choo. Ahem.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out how this model train plays into any of this, but... Well, no. You can fuck right off. Come on, guy.
Hear those voices?
Give me something to work with here. Dude, why would you want to go ahead and do that just out of the blue?
There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
Please knock that shit off. I'm trying to work here. Nah, I think it's safe to say I've pretty much exhausted this building, as far as clues go. But this is my favorite type of location in any game, regardless of genre. Make of that what you will.
Hey, got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
That's pretty disturbing. I want to go ahead and say I just misheard the guy.
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
You know, in any other game, that'd be drunk talk, but in this case, I'm gonna go in and take your word for it, mate.
Ugh, I'll miss the Carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Come closer, troubled soul. Let me tell you what your future holds.
Ah, yes. Juju time.
Fortune teller?
Yes, my dear, yes. Oh, it's so clear. Your path holds many surprises, newcomer.
Really? Like what?
Not so fast, newcomer. I see many things. For a small fee, I'll tell you some of them.
All right, how much? $1?
Your money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood, Oakmonters deal in the practical. Booze, smokes, and bullets. And I'll make it easier for you. I don't smoke.
Some other time. Maybe.
As you wish.
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
Robert Throgmorton hired me to investigate his son's disappearance. I found the note about your debt to Lewis near his cold, dead body. And it looks like Lewis murdered Robert's kid. You want him to come here and ask instead of me?
What?
Don't what me. At best, you're harboring a criminal. At worst, you're an accessory to murder.
What? No. I ain't done nothing.
Tell that to Mr. Throgmorton.
No. No. Throg. Lewis is upstairs. Here's the key.
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day.
Do I really want to be talking about unsettling creatures and, I mean, discuss my state of mind? I don't really think so. Not with this guy in particular. So, what else can we find before we go ahead and escalate things, I wonder? Not a whole lot, it would seem.
What the? Get the... Oh.
Very eloquent, my good man.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Right on, right on.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after was that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. So I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
One might.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
That's kind of a shady defense there.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
You know what? Call it morbid curiosity, but I'm kind of seeing a pattern here when it comes to Oakmont and unconventional attractiveness, and me being somewhat familiar with Lovecraft lore and this guy looking a bit fishy, both literally and figuratively. I'm just gonna go ahead and ask.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Wanna spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouthers' bodies were blessed by the She. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
That's setting the bar kind of low, don't you think? Trying to bribe me with a handful
You
of
think
bullets?
you're the first person to offer me a bribe?
Please, Mr. Reed.
Now, don't try my patience further, Mr. Flynn.
Right, so Mind Palace time. Lewis was aware of his actions. Ah, so this is an either-or situation. Lewis was aware of what he was doing during the fight with Albert Throckmorton. Or Lewis was mentally affected and couldn't entirely control his actions. I mean, I've already told Throckmorton about him being a suspect. I'm kind of on the fence on this one. Maybe if anyone watching this real time would like to weigh in on matters, I'm all ears. Actually, let's inspect this place just a bit further. That's a gnarly little illustration right there. That is a pretty damn cool touch. Like, for the first few seconds after you exit the mind's eye, things still get all wobbly and distorted. Ooh. My pass is looking different now. So why do all three of these point to the same place, and why are these two being left out, I wonder? Lewis may have wanted Albert that. Well, yeah, we already established that. Now, why is there this weird little icon accompanying this theory, I wonder? Let me go ahead and examine the control scheme some more. That is odd. So apparently we've unearthed everything that's relevant to the case, but still I want to head out and explore a bit more.
I'd like you to tell my fortune.
Splendid. The fee is the same.
Some other time. Maybe.
As you wish.
Oh yeah, she mentioned bullets, right? Fresh out of those. Let me go ahead and double check this place. Nah, that's all accounted for.
The port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton.
back off.
Alright, time for a bio break, as they say. Give me a few minutes, guys. Be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Still kind of on the fence about what to do here, because normally I would be like, you know, murder is a murder. Don't really care about your background. As far as the outcome is concerned, anyway. But then again, with all the supernatural mass hysteria stuff going on, I'm not entirely sure where I want to be going with this. You know what? Let's see if I can get on top of here just for shits and giggles. See what we might uncover. And it's a closed door. Well, whoop-de-doo. Again, some more weird-ass critters. Looks like we got a skunk lobster going on there. But you know what? I'm not Richard Attenborough, so let's just leave that. You know what? I think that Mind Palace icon prompt thingy is really telling us to either shit or get off the pot. And, you know, circumstances notwithstanding, Mr. Fishface was very much intent on ransoming the guy off in the first place. Which is a dick move to begin with.
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots.
So yeah, I think I can live with ratting him out, really.
Just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. He's hiding at the local bar. Just ask the bartender. Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family. Took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross the Throgmortons. Justice, bittersweet as it is, shall be served. It's rare for a newcomer to make himself so useful. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes. You've earned it. Kate, to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I'm looking into an outbreak of erratic behavior and madness, all linked to shared visions of this place.
Indeed. Then our goals align. This Inexplicable hysteria has spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture, sleeping giants, drowned streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly.
Yeah, now we're getting to it.
She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster?
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, and Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Got a point there.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work.
Some compensation?
Also
Dude.
include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
Right, yeah, I was kind of looking for like an in-universe explanation for that. But yeah, right on. I'm guessing that means the police barricade has been lifted by now. And there we have it. Neat. So, Robert Throckmorton funded an expedition to discover the origin of the mass hysteria gripping Oakmont. The expedition was to explore the seabed near Oakmont. Contact with the expedition was soon lost. Albert Throckmorton was the only known survivor. he was subsequently murdered. I was hired to find any other expedition members, dead or alive. Throckmorton will be waiting for my report in his manor in southern Old Grove. I guess it's this would be the hotel that Mr. Vandenberg was talking about. Just when we came off the boat.
Crew of the Cyclops. Semper Fortis, brothers. Never again, they say.
Wait, what just happened? Find out what happened to the robbed graves in the Rest in Peace case. So, did I just activate like an optional objective just by examining this closet? I'm not entirely sure. The number of attacks on the Innsmouth immigrants has increased. Raids are intensifying with more and more Innsmouthers exposed to abuse and assault. Sometimes whole families are found dead in their houses. Police are on the case with several illegal Innsmouther businesses captured and their owners sent to jail. This city ought to have been cleaned of these fish-faced scum long ago, said Robert Throckmorton, head of the Throckmorton Grant family. I regret only one thing. It all started too late. Had we not neglected our civic duties, my son Albert would still be here with us. So it's starting to look like this takes place sometime after we were less conscious. Interesting. Let me go ahead and check the casebook here real quick. Nah, still no side cases. We're still on the main path here. So yeah, about this expedition then. Mr. Reed, it seems that you overexerted yourself while conducting the investigation for Mr. Throckmorton. Forgive me for the audacity, but I brought you to the Devil's Reef while you were unconscious. Please take more care of yourself in the future. I won't be there for you every time. Looks like my hunch was on point.
Makes this place feel more like home. I miss Boston already.
So this is our little makeshift office right here. I can live with that. Some ammo, finally. Wait, so is this like a single round for one gun and 4 rounds for the other? Yeah, it seems like I am actually carrying 2 types of firearms. I boarded up the windows and locked the door. They're just men, the Yellow King's gang. They can't get here now. Now there's only me and these nightmares. a little longer and I'll figure them out. Oh yeah, speaking of the Yellow King, if you haven't watched the first season of True Detective, I can recommend the shit out of that. If you're into occult, investigative business, that is. Mr. Archer, I've seen you dragging things into your room. Mind the floors. I'll make you pay for any scratches you leave. Your landlord. Ooh, this sounds a lot
budge.
Like a room I want to investigate in the future. No, don't knock it with a shovel, just read the damn thing. Okay, so nothing to interact with here. So, it looks a lot like I can't really differentiate between doors I can open and those that I can't. I mean, this one's got just a doorknob. This one's got a little handlebar hingy thing. I was hoping that might be some sort of a clue, but no such luck there. That looks a lot like an album cover right there. But yeah, no, again, so far, if you like the source material and you were a bit disappointed with the Call of Cthulhu game, like I was, absolutely give this a shot.
Finally, you're awake. Gotta tell you though, mister, you wanna stay on here? You stop making all that noise.
Say what now?
Noise? What noise are you talking about?
I expect my guests to be respectable. Moans, chanting, all that kind of thing. It stops, all right?
Got any proof it was me? It could have been one of my neighbors. I slept like a rock. I didn't hear a thing.
That's exactly what a newcomer would say. Your neighbors are respectable people and would never do such a thing. Don't think your yellow-clad patron means you get away with everything.
You're not exactly friendly with your guests. Are we the ones keeping you in business?
All these newcomers after the flood, they're stark raving mad.
What do you mean?
You can't imagine the crazy notes and books I find after they move out. Only thing they're good for is lighting the kitchen stove.
Can I have a look?
I knew it. I tell you, no one sane would be interested. And you want to take a look? Well, fine. Take what you wish.
I'm really warming up to our main character guy here. I mean, even if I'm not presented with any dialogue options, he just does not take any shit and just doubles down on the assertiveness. I'm liking it. Note about the hobo signs. Darren, I think I'm finally starting to figure this out. Locals use signs to mark special places. that you know already. Kinda like the secret signs hobos use all over the country. What I learned is that the tradition dates back to times well before the flood. I've been able to find the meaning of some of them. You see the crooked H-shaped sign on doors around town. That means the house is inhabited. The cross has grid sign marks, hidden caches of useful items. The V-shaped sign is for barricaded, dangerous places. Good catch there, they say. Still haven't figured out the spiral-shaped sign though. You'll have to investigate for yourself. And if you see a sign with a cross and 3 Ks, reach for the gun. K. Right on, right on. Noted indeed.
I'm watching you, newcomer.
Walter, can I help you if I hear you're peddling your cheap, affordable living again? I could live with you renting out beast-ridden flop houses, but you're cutting into my profit. Don't make that mistake. I know you're on the fish market, and I have dangerous people living here that I can send after you. You've been warned, Vic. So, no mixed signals there. Can I just say, this game is looking pretty damn decent. I mean, from what I used to, you get like an expansive open world game and the developers have to find some sort of happy medium between graphical fidelity and the you know, expansiveness of the world, but good job indeed. So this guy was saying something about the kitchen stove, if I remember correctly. So shell casings and gunpowder, but not any actual ammo yet. That's pretty neat though, the whole water spider thingy, whatever you want to call it, up on the ceiling. That's another prominent nod to the trailer. Right there. Which, I mean, if you haven't seen it already, do yourself a favor, check out that trailer, because it's a little work of art in and of itself, if you ask me. Huh. Could have sworn this phone booth was closed earlier, but maybe that's just me. Right, so we got a couple destinations designated already on our map, as Mr. Vandenberg said at the beginning of the game. Oh, Jesus, I was just trying to talk to the guy and I hit the wrong button, I swear. I meant no offense, mate. Can I make it up to you? Can we talk about it at least? Nah, you're not being very receptive. I get that. I respect that. So where were we? Let's see if we can climb this. Probably not. Infested area. That does not sound very welcoming. Right, and so this being a flooded city, I suppose this is how we get around now. Okay, so that's the Devil's Reef Hotel where we just came from. Infested area, which sounds like a combat-heavy zone. Let's not go there just yet. What else have we got? Owen University Library, Throgmorton Manor, Asylum, Hospital of St. Mary, Police Department, and the Omen Chronicle. You know, if I was in this guy's shoes, I would not check out into the asylum just yet. I want to visit the hospital and see just what's going on. Let me see if I can bookmark that as a destination. Hang on, focus player. What's that? What does that do? Pretty sure that just marked the hospital on our map. Nah, I don't want to be traveling that distance on foot, especially without any ammo, so let's back up. And try and navigate all this ish. Kaboutertje, dude! Glad to have you, man. Only noticing your message just now. Please do excuse my late reaction. I'm not gonna translate that comment, but I appreciate the sentiment, dude. Hang on, let me see if I can bother this guy. Just for shits and giggles, see if he's got anything useful to add. Isn't it your bedtime right about now, Kaboutertje? No judgment here, I'm just asking. Jesus, it's the wrong button again. I didn't mean to hit you over the head. For no reason, guy. Honestly. I just want to talk to you. Can we talk about this? Nah, I'd probably be sitting down and massaging my head. If I was you too. Can't blame you. Ah. Alcohol, indeed. My favorite item in any game whatsoever, regardless of genre or context. But yeah, enough distractions and enough needlessly whacking civilians around the head. And all of a sudden my accomplice is all cleared out. And I've got no notion of where to turn. Even worse, looks a lot like we're heading dangerously close to infested area, which is where I explicitly did not want to go. So, I'm not exactly sure what that focus player option is all about. But for now, let's play it safe and just place a compass marker. Like so. And there we go. Nope. Don't want to disembark. Where are we at as far as ammo is concerned? Oh, can't pull up the weapons dial, it seems. As long as we're in this boat. Really digging the ambient music here. Then again, I just might be biased because I'm a sucker for dark ambient anyway. And whatever the Cryobiosis label puts out, I want to say they're called Atrium Carceri, what have you. But, again, bonus points in my book. So where are we at? See, I like to tell myself I have a keen sense of direction, but in real life at least, but looks like we're nowhere near where I want to be. So I'm guessing these gray areas are like solidified pavement paths where you have to disembark. So let's go ahead and try that again, and maybe not try and hit boats with a shovel for absolutely no reason. In the future. Just double checking my map here real quick. So it's the second right we want to take. I'm just kind of wondering why these some of these waterways would be outlined in yellow. But I guess we're about to find out. Also, it looks a lot like we're gonna have to disembark at some point to get to the hospital, but, you know, I can live with that. So that would be our first right. And this is where we want to be going, I think. But, I mean, major props to the development team for figuring out a way to not only randomly generate the city itself, but also translate to a relatively legible map as well. That is pretty awesome. So yeah, looks a lot like we're gonna have to disembark already. That's quite a long ways on foot to the hospital. Hang on, did I just go in a circle? I went in a circle, didn't I? That's all on me, though. But yeah. No accessible waterways from the looks of it. So let's go ahead and get out here. Might as well. At least I'm a bit more familiar with the boat fare mechanic right here. Oh, and that's another boat. Aren't we in luck? I'm fully counting on there being some combat sequences while you're in the boat somewhere down the line. But you know what? First impression is that this guy's not gonna have a whole lot of useful information, but I'm just gonna go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt and try and disembark here. Try and talk to him. Which, it turns out, the game is not actually letting me do. But yeah. So, let's take a left here and try and get to that hospital. Now, usually I want to try and hold off reservations and judgments until I'm like a solid portion into a game, but so far between the graphical fidelity and how they're handling the investigational sequences and dialogue and the voice acting, I'm seeing a lot of potential right here. So far, I want to say my hype has not been unfounded.
I won't recover this time.
And the scale of this thing is unbe-fucking-lievable. I mean, considering the distance I just traveled, and it's only this tiny little portion of the map so far. I'm liking it.
What's your problem?
What's my problem? What's your problem? You want to make something of it? I was gonna say I got a shovel, but looks like you ran away faster than would be perceivable by the human eye.
Find something you like. Cheaper than the rest.
And this would be our hospital then.
Patient or visitor? Hold on. Let Dr. Grant guess. A visitor. Though you are a bit pale.
Look who's talking, motherfucker.
Do you?
I'm looking pale.
The usual. Nothing to write home about.
Ah, a chronic headache sufferer. fascinating. By coincidence, I was studying Helminth and their role in illness before the flood. Did you know that all of us are infected by Helminth? Your headaches could indicate that they have infested your brain.
That's news to me, Doc. Sounds serious.
May I suggest you become a subject in my experimental medical program?
That's a bit forward. I mean, I only met you like 30 seconds ago, guy. But, I mean, a headache's a headache. Fuck it.
I think I'll pass, Doc. I played lab rat in an asylum in Boston. Can't say it did a damn thing for me.
Oh, what a pity. It seems as though your brain is already too damaged by the Helminth for rational thought.
Oi, oi, oi. Taking liberties there, mate.
It looks like hard work in these conditions. You need a hand?
Well, yes, actually. But it may result in close contact with the wiles. Is that going to be a problem?
It's like, I like to tell myself that my English vocabulary is up to scratch, but I'm gonna take a second here and look up what a wile even is. I mean, I'm familiar with it as an objective, like wily, cunning, schemy, what have you, but as a noun? No, I don't want Urban Dictionary. That's like the least reliable source of information I want to have right now. Yeah, okay, so the dictionary definition isn't really offering me anything new. You know what? Fuck it. Again, a headache's a headache, and I'll try anything. At least once. Except maybe donkeys.
I'm prepared to face men and beasts alike. Count me in.
Yeah, that's the spirit, my guy.
I see it in your eyes. Well, I have taken it upon myself to study the wild beasts, but need more data to confirm two of my hypotheses.
Two,
One
even?
concerns the multi-handed creatures, and the other, the vomiting humanoids.
I like how he just lays it out there, like those are common, everyday occurrences.
What have you found out about the multi-handed beasts?
One of my patients saw them in his nightmares before the flood. I can't visit him, but he must know something. Here's his address.
Those hideous wretches seem almost human. But what could turn one into such a monstrosity?
Jim Bells, a patient of mine, was admitted to hospital with symptoms resembling cholera, but he turned into one of those things. Incredible. Here's the address. Find out what happened.
Bye.
Wow. I mean, they're not wasting time, are they? Sounds a lot like we just went full Cronenberg from 0 to 100. But yeah, long as I'm here. Choose evidence. Hang on. This seems to be a new game mechanic. Robert Throckmorton funded an expedition to discover the origin of the mass hysteria gripping Oakmont. The expedition was to explore the seabed near Oakmont. Contact with the expedition was soon lost. Yeah, no, we've been over this already. Select 3 search criteria. Well, there's only 3, so yeah. Yeah, no, I can see where this is going. I'm gonna go ahead and try and find a lot more contextual evidence before speculating and deducting and what have you. Floor 2 and 3 patient wards, floor 1 reception, basement surgery storage. So is this guy floating in midair on purpose, or do we have a minor glitch on our hands? You know what? I'll tolerate it. For now. Yeah, I'm a whole lot more interested in these addresses, though, since it is an open world exploration game. So let's go ahead and see what the casebook tells us. So, as to not lose focus, the main case is still about that geological expedition. Meanwhile, there's also the letters from Oakmont. The hotel owner allowed me to look through the weird notes he found in the rooms of disappeared newcomers. Among them, I found several pages, I should say, from the diary of a man describing his life in Oakmont. He suffered from visions and marked the places where they happened. Was he trying to avoid them? And then there's the field research. The man who died and turned into a monstrous creature lived in northern Salvation Harbor, on Moorland Road between Higgs Lane and Benevolent Tides Road. Dr. Grant from the Oakland City Hospital asked me to find out what happened there. Okay, so that's Moorland. No, hang on. Between Higgs Lane and Benevolent Tides. Sounding a lot like we want to make our way back to our boat. So on one hand, I want to say it's kind of inconvenient that they would have me track down these streets by hand, as they say. But then again, that's because I'm used to a lot of games just spelling things out to you and placing map markers and what have you. So this is a pretty damn refreshing change of pace. But in other news, I'm all out of whiskey by now, so as to not let the gameplay quality suffer, and add to that it is getting pretty damn late in my parts, I'm thinking it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to be pulling the plug for tonight. That said, I am dead set on continuing this game sometime tomorrow, because again, I like what I'm seeing, detecting a whole lot of potential here, no pun intended. So yeah, stay tuned. Everyone who checked in, thanks for watching, have a good night, and I'll see you next time hopefully. Bye now.